Hey everyone, happy Thursday. I wanted to talk about what seems like a deeply personal and maybe even like really emotional topic. Um and it's a topic of starting to really or like seeing your parents in you physically. I think that I think as a child there's certain memories that I snapped shot into my brain about my mother, you know. Um, and it's just like, I don't know why, but okay, so like, yeah, when I was a child, right, or when you're a child, your parent is a certain age older than you, and you don't currently look like them yet, like in terms of age, but as like you start aging, I think that, and I'm not going to speak for everyone, I'm just speaking generally, but I think you might begin to see a little bit of your parent in yourself, because what you snapshot as a kid. See, when you're like in your early 20s and shit, you don't really look like your parent. Like, yeah, you don't look like the age of your parents just yet, you're young, you're supple and shit. And it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. um but like, something's been happening to me where like I'll look at my hands and like this snapshot of my mother's hand will come up in my mind, and it's just so freaky. And it's like, ew, it's kind of like it's just, it's like a feeling of disgust, like, oh my god, and again, it's like, it's not, I don't think it's something of mere vanity. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but like I said, that's the only way like I can describe it. It's like a snapshot that I took as a child of my mom's hand, and now as an almost 40-year-old woman, I looked at my hand and like I felt like I saw my mother's hand. Like, it was like that. It was like a post-traumatic stress. It was like a flashback. Honestly, it felt like a flashback. Like, oh my god. And then as I look at my biological father, who I wasn't even raised with, whatever, I look at him, and then when I look at myself, I am flabbergasted. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, I see him. I see him in my face. Like, that's freaking me out, And, they used to tell me when I was younger, when I was a kid, oh, you look just like your daddy. You look just like your dad. And it wasn't really like a big deal back then to me because I wasn't older yet. I think that's what it is. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I resemble my dad. Like, cool, whatever. But I feel like lately, when I see videos of him, because he's on like Facebook, and then I look at myself and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, ill. And I was thinking about the feelings of disgust, and like with my mother, like there's more things that I kind of got flashbacks of, and it's just, it's kind of traumatic. And I don't know, it's not traumatic from like a vanity standpoint. I think it's associated with the emotions that I have towards these people. I think that that's what it comes down to. How I feel about them, and then when I start to see them in myself, that brings up feelings of like disgust, and hate. Well, not really hate. I don't think hate's really in there. It's more like, oh, it's like disgust. Yeah, like, oh my God, I can't believe that, to be associated with them. It's kind of fucked up, honestly. It feels a little fucked up. And then I thought, I bet if I had more feelings of love towards my parents, that when I saw them in myself, I wouldn't be so disgusted or taken back. I would feel honored, or I'd feel like, oh, I look just like my dad, like, oh my God. Or wow, my hands look, it's just like I wouldn't feel so taken back by it or whatever. I think it has to do with the way you feel about your parents. And then I also wondered about people who took severe abuse, from their parents. You're severely abused. You could have been molested, sexually abused, fucking physically abused. And I hate that I feel like I'm downplaying emotional abuse, because it's bad too, But anyways, what I'm saying is, imagine if you had taken on more forms of abuse, emotional, physical, and sexual, from your parents, your biological parents, and then you start to look like them. I wonder what kind of feelings that could bring up for a person, to see the people who have hurt you in your body and in your face. I don't know. But what can you do? What can you do about it? You know what I'm saying? Except feel those emotions of hate and disgust and emotional pain. Just feel them and process through them and cry. I mean, what do you do? You can't change your face, you can get plastic surgery. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what can you really do about it? Except process the emotions and try to heal yourself, heal internally. That's it. Acceptance. And remind yourself that you're not them. You're not them. And I think that if you had narcissistic parents, from what I'm learning, they put themselves on you. They scapegoat you. What am I trying to say here? They say you're an extension. They feel like you're an extension of them. But I think you have to remind yourself, you're not them. Just because you might look like them in some physical parts of your body, just because you might talk like them or have handwriting like them, you're not them. You're not them. Your spirit, your beautiful, your essence is not them. I believe we all have our own essence. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have our own spirit, our own essence. We are who we are. As a parent, I could see that in my children. They're all different fabric. Like, you know what I'm saying? Different essences. And so are you. You're not the same essence as your parents. You're not them. You are not them. You are you. So yeah, I feel like it could be a deeply painful topic. Deep emotional pain. Sometimes I feel it. Like, where I feel my emotional pain is right here in my chest. I feel. I'm like, I wonder how much emotional pain I carry around. I wonder how much emotional pain people carry around in general. How much emotional pain are we carrying? Emotional baggage that we don't even realize is there, until we start allowing it to process out. It's difficult feeling ugly emotions, because honestly, when I feel emotions I don't want to feel, I want to get out of it as quickly as possible. I don't know if I talked about this on my channel. I know I thought about it, but I don't remember if I made a video about it, about vulnerable emotions. And I was realizing that vulnerable emotions for me, like, I feel like there's certain emotions that my nervous system has said, those emotions are not safe for you to feel. They're not safe. You know, like emotions of like happiness and joy, feeling accomplished. Those are all unsafe emotions, you know, and maybe for some people feeling sad, feeling emotions of sadness are unsafe emotions. Like, we can't feel those. We're not allowed to feel those. Feeling out of control, unsafe. We cannot feel out of control. We must feel in control all the time. So, and then, you know, with the unsafe, whatever your nervous system has deemed something unsafe to experience, you're going to have to do something compulsive or numb that emotion out right away. Whether that be with drugs, with, you know, weed, with alcohol, with whatever agent, I don't know, you know? We just have to extinguish that shit immediately, because we don't want to feel those things. Maybe because we feel like if we feel those things, we won't stop feeling them. You know what I'm saying? But I think that if we allow ourselves to feel these ugly emotions in a safe space, in a safe way, I think that they will process out. I think they will. I think healing can come from that. I think it's about accepting who we are. Accepting who we are. I think that in our culture is about changing who we are. I think our culture is always mostly about changing who we are, becoming better, change. You know. But what happens if we just accept who we are? I think we're afraid to accept who we are, because if we accept who we are, that's shameful. That's not good enough. Accept who you are, that's a cop-out. That's an excuse to not want to become better. But what if when we accept who we are, we do become better? I don't know. What if? So anyways, yeah. So my original topic was like looking like your parents, and when there's a lot of emotional pain associated with your parents, that could be difficult. But what do you guys think about it? Have you experienced that, where you feel like you look like your parents, but that's not associated with positive feelings and emotions? That's associated with a lot of physical, emotional, maybe physical too, emotional pain. Let me know down below. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. May we all, you know, process out of difficult emotions and be emotionally well off.